money, I got paper cuts.
Listen, welcome back to Into the Streets podcast show. We got our special guest in the building.
Brya Woods, what's going on?
Hey.
How did you just bust into a dance? Look, you know what?
That's horrible.
You gotta teach us a dance before you go. We only have one dance that was taught to us, the Millie Rock.
We learned two,
so we need something else.
I'm gonna teach you the paper cuts.
Oh, look, we did dog ass. We just taught the dog ass.
I got you.
Millie Rock, what you about to?
I'm gonna teach you paper cuts.
Ow, you got your own dance.
I got you. I have my own dance.
I love it. I love it. Listen, welcome to Ear to the Streets, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To be here.
For those who don't know, so Brya Woods is one of the most sought after dancers in the fucking industry, like period. Like how the R&B talking some of this generation, she's one of the most sought after dancers. Like she just got fresh off a tour with Usher. She did with Migos. You know you gotta be popping if you are chosen a part of the tribute for Janet Jackson. Like that's so we gotta get into it. What you been having going on? You know, like you out here in other countries. How was it being on tour with Usher?
No, that was incredible. Honestly, like I had no clue. I honestly needed to be out there until I got out there. You know, like being back on the road, I've been doing a lot of like television, and so like I haven't been, you know, on tour, like doing a show every night, like a 2-hour show, like getting conditioned for that. We had like a whole month before we even left for tour, and just being in that whole like vibe, it just like brought me back to like why I love doing what I do, which is performing. Like at the end of the day, like I love stage, I love performing. So anything in that aspect, I die for it. So, like, me diving into, like, you know, this, like, unexpected tour that literally popped up out of nowhere, like, I mean, it was great. It was good. It was good energy. I've never been to Australia.
I was about to ask you, where all did you go? Like,
we went to Australia, and we visited, like, 8 places, I think, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, a few other places. We went to New Zealand, Auckland. Man, it was just great. And I've never been to New Zealand and Australia, and I've been to quite a few places around the world before I was even like 20. You know what I mean? I was really, really blessed to be able to travel at such a young age.
Right.
So like that was great, you know, and being able to hit those places, because I was like, man, I really want to go to Australia, but I don't know when. And then that kind of happened out of nowhere. And
you spoke it up into existence.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I wasn't even thinking about it. You know what I mean? So the fact that it came back around years later, it was good. And it was at such a place when I needed to just get out and like kind of just, yeah, dive in. And when I got back, it really pushed me into like being like, you know what, it's time. I'm ready to drop my single. So I dropped Paper Cuts.
Oh yeah, we definitely got that for y'all. We're gonna tell us a little bit more about Paper Cuts before we get into it.
Yeah, so I just dropped my single Paper Cuts. Paper Cuts has a lot to deal with, I think, just kind of the place I've been in for a long time, and then just also the place that I feel like I grew up in. You know what I mean? It means so much. Like me being just an independent young woman, you know, me just growing up in Atlanta in the dance industry, kind of in the industry too, though, like the music world, in a different sense, because I was like creative director for like a lot of like, you know, artist development like teams that I was like doing around like the city, and then like I would dance for a whole bunch of like dope, amazing, like iconic stars and like a lot of artists. So, you know, I grew up in that world like since I was like 13.
How did you get into this? Like,
look, now
you've been doing so much.
It's like a tree. We're like making branches. It's bad. Look, there's so many branches to my tree. Every time I try to like stay on track. Paper Cuts, okay. Well, I got into this world. It was crazy because I was at the right place at the right time. You know what I mean? I was in like a dance competition since I was like 2 years old. And my dance teacher, like, I never really did hip hop. So my dance teacher, you know, I'm like the token black girl, you know, it's all the, you know, it's the whole dance squad, which I love, you know what I mean, I love them. They were all white, and I was like the only black girl, you know what I mean, and my dance teacher, they didn't really offer like hip hop like that at the studio. So my dance teacher, who was like my second mom, she is the reason why I I'm able to like, or I was able to really dive into like dancing the way I did and perform the way I do, like, you know what I mean? Shout out to my mom too, of course, her.
Yeah, don't forget my mom.
Don't forget Mom Dukes. But no, she was like, you need to go and take Chuck Maldonado, amazing choreographer. He is a like G GOAT, one of my mentors. He was teaching at a studio in the city, and mind you, I never actually really went to the city. I mean, the only time I went to the city was like during 4th of July. My mom took us
You
up.
from here?
Yeah, I'm from here. So my mom would take us to see the fireworks at the underground.
Right.
You know, we take the train, so it wasn't like, you know, we were in and out, you know. So, like, this is my first time, I feel like, going to the city. It was so exciting. Like, I took his class, and he was just kind of like, you know, he pulled me out to do the routine by myself. So I was really geeked about that. And then there was a woman there who was kind of just scouting for, you know, like dancers for her dance crew. And so long story short, I ended up auditioning for Dance 411.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and Dance 411 had, at the time, I think they just merged with Block LA and Block New York. So Block wanted to make a South unit. And so they merged with 411. I think 411 had already kind of created their talent agency, and so they were already scouting for kids or whatever. So I auditioned for them, and I was like, I made it. It was like a ton of kids, you know what I mean? So they were just, I think at that time, just wanting to get a lot of talent. So maybe like 6 months went by, and nothing happened. Or I just didn't hear back from the agency. I would like go in and take class, and you know, try to like keep my face like, you know, in people's like, you know, eyesight. And then there was like one day, I think I was like rehearsing for a dancer showcase or something, and one of the agents came in, who were now like family, Cindy Schneider and Nefertiti Robinson. They came in and they were like looking at our routine and kind of looking at us dance or whatever, and they just like grabbed me and they like pulled me back into the office, and they were like, "Are you signed to us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm signed to you guys." And they were like, "No, you can't be signed to us." And they pulled my picture, and of course I had like this like Walmart picture, because that's where I went. Walmart. My mom took me to Walmart to get my first headshots. Oh, it was lit. I had like the pullback ponytail with the drawstring. Oh, it was crazy. But it was the worst headshot ever. Like, worst. Not a professional headshot whatsoever. But they pulled my headshot and they were like, "Oh, this can't be you." Like, we didn't even realize, because I guess what I looked like in person wasn't what I gave on the picture. So they were like, "Is your mom here?" Like, I'm like, you know, my mom's outside. My mom's like outside with the foot on the car window, like toes out, everything, like just chilling. My mom, that's how my mom did it when she had to take me in the city, or when she had to drop me off or whatever. She would be chilling. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Mom Dukes. She'd be chilling in the car waiting for me to get done. Hours. Didn't even care. Brought my mom in, and my mom, they were like, "So we have an audition tomorrow." This is the kicker. They were like, "We have an audition tomorrow. We want Brya to get like some experience auditioning for actual, you know, just like that, like the day after actual jobs, because we really feel like she could work. We feel like she could book." So my mom's like, "Okay." I don't think they told me who it was for, but they told me it was for BET Hip Hop Awards. So I came the next day, and I go to the audition. I'm thinking that, you know, I'm auditioning, you know, and the choreographer knows that I'm like fake auditioning, right? So, you know, we learned the routine, and which, by the way, by an amazing choreographer. Her name is Jay. She's amazing. And so we learned the routine, and I think like they call everybody out. They call everybody out, but they leave me in, right? And they call like 3 girls at a time. So I'm like doing the routine, get tired as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like doing the routine over and over again. And so at the end of the audition, she's like, "Thank you, blah, blah, blah." And so like my agents, they're like standing in the corner like because they're tiny. So they're like standing in the corner like little jitterbugs, and they're like, "Come here." like, we need to talk to you. And they're like, do you know that Jay was, like, auditioning people to match you? And this is crazy because, like, I'm 14. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, like, now I can say this now because I'm of age. But I was 14 and I was auditioning for Snoop Dogg. And I had no idea for the hip-hop honors. This was, like, probably one of the very first time, or the very first year that, like, BET hip-hop, or BET did the hip-hop awards in Atlanta. And so, and so this was, like, 07?
Yeah, I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
I was at
like,
that party with Nelly, that Nelly did in Underground.
Woo,
that club, yeah, that was a lit weekend.
This was, like, years ago. So I'm like, you know, I'm mad young. Actually, I wasn't 14. I exaggerate. I was like 15 or 16. I'm like mad young, and they're like, bro, do you know that, like, you know, the choreographer is like auditioning like girls to like match you, and like she's like set on you. Once you, that's it. We gotta figure this out because this was all a da da da. So honestly, long story short, because there's a lot of branches. I just started working after that. Really, honestly, like, after that, I just got asked to dance for so many and got opportunities to dance for, like, BBD and Sierra and Usher before I danced for Usher again. And
I was about to say, which time?
Missy and Nicki, Ariana Grande. I've danced for Jessie J. I've done a lot of things for old school and new school. Right.
Who you do old school? I want to know what's your old school.
She said BBD.
Heavy D, BBD, Dougie Fresh.
That's dope.
Yeah, TLC. Love them.
You dance with all of them, or?
No, I didn't. But it doesn't matter because when I was with them.
What I'm saying, because you started. Okay. No.
When I was with them, you could on some, and I've never met her. Obviously, you know what I mean. But I'm not gonna lie, the way they carry her spirit and the way her spirit is around them two, I mean, you know, T-Boz and Chili, like, the way their spirit is, the way they carry her spirit, like, you could feel her. Like, you could feel her presence. Like, and it's crazy. I can't even explain it. Like, she just...
No, you don't have to, because
I felt the essence of her there through them. And
I feel the essence of her right now, and I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I'm an elder millennial. I don't know if y'all watched that. And did you watch the MTV special before Left Eye Pass?
Ooh, I did.
I watched it. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all even go back right now and watch that special, like, when I tell you, you could feel how near death she felt. Like, and you could tell that, like, she was so in tune with her spirit. Like, she knew, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just crazy. Like, a week before she passed away, she was riding around in, like, Honduras or somewhere in this little car, and there was all these people in there, and she accidentally hit this little boy that was like 9. And I think the boy died or something, and she was saying that, like, they're gonna punish me for this, like, da. And it was just, I don't know, it was just deep. You know what I'm saying?
It was heavy. Yeah.
So with you dancing for all these different dope artists and all that, how'd you get to the point where you want to be in, like, the forefront now and just be in the music business?
Yeah. So I got it wasn't until like I was, like, really, like, honestly, it wasn't until I got with Pharrell. So I started when he started the whole
right, because it's a big part. You can.
I know. There's so many branches.
That's so dope, though.
Branches, man. That's what I'm saying. We can get off track so many ways.
Yeah, because for your second day in the industry, for real, for you to get picked for Snoop, like, that right there.
It wasn't my second.
I'm saying, like, after you picked up, like, a team, like, as soon as you start auditioning, your first audition being for somebody like that, that's huge. So how did this whole thing happen with Pharrell?
No. So I was dancing for Pharrell, and he was like, you know, you don't see what I see. And I'm like, nah, I see what you see. That's why you see.
Right.
No, but, like, that's not, like, he was, you know, really kind of like one of my motivations, one of my mentors, who was really, like, definitely, like, I see the artist in you. And another one was Missy. She was like, you know, I see how dope you are. I see your potential. And I would always be in a situation where people would be like, what do? You do music. You gotta do music.
Mm-hmm.
And for
That's
me, like,
dope.
of course,
They already see it.
yeah. For me, of course, like I was like, man, you know, I'm working on my own tune because you know, as soon as I get attuned to this walk, it's a wrap. So honestly, music was always, you know, something that I wanted to dive into. I kind of dabbled into it when I was younger with the girl group, but we all know how girl groups go.
Every time.
Yeah, so that happened, and dancing kind of just took off. So I just kind of went with what felt and what was, you know what I'm saying, right. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how that happened. So moving forward.
Yeah. Well, so when did you decide? You know what? I'm about to walk away from this. Like, I'm about to do my own thing. Like, what was the deciding factor?
No, cause and that's what's crazy, because we were just talking about transition. Like, I feel like I have been in this transition state for a very long time. I've been struggling back and forth, and it's so crazy because like I hit such a high peak in my dance career where I was like really, really comfortable. I was financially straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had hit a peak where I was like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really, and I've danced for, and I'm dancing for, like, some of, and the one of the greatest, like, you know what I mean? But I was, like, not happy. And it was weird because I was like, how am I not happy? I'm thankful. I love where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? But I'm there's just something, like, missing. And I couldn't ignore it, and I felt like I was, like, ignoring it for the longest until, like, I couldn't ignore it no more. And so, yeah, I kind of walked away, and I stopped kind of dancing for artists for a little minute, and I was like, I know it's because I want to do music. I know it's because I feel like I need to do music. I know it's because I feel like I need to be in the forefront now. I feel like it's time for me to stop, you know, being the artist behind artists. Because I always consider myself the artist behind the artist. I felt like that was how I was able to make you and your craft shine more, you know what I'm saying, for you and your life, you know what I mean? So, and I was thankful for that. Like, I love doing that, but I was also fighting giving more, because I also had to be, you know, held back from being naturally what I felt like was me. You know what I mean?
I know how that is. You didn't
Oh,
want to
is that
outshine
like-
this. No, because some people are like that. Like,
And I'm not trying to, I don't want to, like, disrespect or do anything.
but some people have such big egos that they'll actually, if you don't do that, the messed up part is that if you don't do that, some people will take you off, and you won't understand why. Like Carlos Miller, how he took, like how Nick Cannon took Carlos Miller off of there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because he knew he had the potential to be big. Some people don't want other people to be big, so that's a big thing for you to take, you know, that type of sacrifice. But you knew when it was time for you. You can't hold it. You can only hold it for so long.
Yeah, like I was like, all right, you know, like
You had your humble face.
I was like, thank you.
Paper cuts.
What? Paper cuts. And here we are, because paper cuts is about like leveling up. It's about like getting your money up. It's about, like, you know what I'm saying, independently doing it for yourself. It's about being confident in what you do and loving what you do, and being okay to, you know what I'm saying, like, provide for yourself. You know what I'm saying, and that be okay. Like, focusing on you and
That's the real bag.
I mean, because I'm a giver. I'm a Virgo, but I'm also like a Leo. I'm like in between.
See, that I'm a Gemini, and I'm such a giver, and and you know what? And it sucks when you're so much of a giver, and you know it gets to the point where you're around people that don't give as much as you do. Yeah. So I think that this was a big year for people like us to realize that we can't give to anybody else till we're taken care of. Yeah. I don't know. That's my lesson from this year. Yeah. So. I'm on some paper cuts type shit too.
I mean,
like 2019, I'm not fucking playing. I've been being humble and holding back to not offend or make this person feel no type of way. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't give a shit. 2019. If you ain't on my team, it's none of my business.
Okay, sorry.
Right.
So please introduce paper cuts so we can, you know, like, you know, what's up? What's up?
Okay, so we got this banging ass new single.
Banging ass.
Single. From Brya Woods. Listen, we're going to talk about it when we get back. I'm trying to get some paper.
Yes. Shout out to Black Elephant.
today.
Big shit, come a little big shout it. Couple thousand, I got millions to make. I don't feel safe unless I feel myself. Domesticated, you can give it a break. And if that's what you want, then boy, you made a mistake. I got shit to do. I can't hustle if I'm always laying under you. Don't think shit's sweet, boy, I'm about to eat ya. I'm just trying to get my money up. When I get a check, I run it up.
That shit on fast forward.
No, it was good.
I don't need you to take care of us. If you want a broke bitch, I'm not the one.
Let's go about
It's, yeah, let's go slow, right? This is it slow, so we're doing it slow.
And it's still fast.
And I've been counting so much money, I got paper cuts. Counting so much money, I got paper cuts. I'm just trying to get my money up. I've been counting so much money, I got paper cuts. So won't you mind the bread to make? It won't take away the role you play. I love the money and love we make. So let's get up so we can get away. I got shit to do. I can't hustle if I'm always laying under you.
They don't just come through. We learn the dances. We learn the routines. Bro, y'all might catch us on this tour with her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what's about to happen. Penny was over there. Penny was hitting this shit hard,
She
bro.
don't need no dancing. She danced too good.
Penny,
It just need to be her.
I'm all about the love. I'm all
She
about
gotta
the
be by
love.
herself. She brought us in with a 16 count. We was thinking more forward. she was ready, but we slowed that BPM down.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I literally was like, wait a minute.
Had to get it sexy, get it nice.
I thought you was
How
moving kind
much
of fast
money
for that
I got
BPM. I thought you was moving kind of fast for that BPM. But
I was on beat. Where was you at?
damn.
Where
I
was you
there,
at?
bro? I was one step behind, but I was in the building.
No, you was there, boo. You was there. I'm honestly like I'm very appreciative. Thank you for having me on your show. I had a great time.
We had a good time too. Look, tell everybody where they can find you at and how can they get the single.
Yes, you guys, please. You can find me on all platforms. Brya Woods, BRYAWOODS. Paper Cuts is out. Download it. The video is out. I am actually about to drop a little something else. So stay tuned.
That mean you coming back. That mean you gonna come back.
Why she gonna do the duck lips and slide off?
And that's all I gotta say. Okay.
She said what she said.
Yeah, follow me, Brya Woods, everywhere. IG, YouTube, Facebook, and the list goes on because we live in a technology world. Yeah.
She ain't hard to find, you know what I'm talking about?
And listen, make sure you follow Hip Hop Streets on Instagram.
Yes.
Download our app, Hip Hop Streets app. Tune into our podcast on our YouTube, Hip Hop Streets.
Subscribe. Don't just be going on there watching.
Leave
Share.
us
Tell y'all
comments,
friends, Byron.
feedback, everything.
Comment.
And
Yes, we need all of that love.
Next week.
Hey, we know the dance now.
Okay? And you teach it to everybody.
I'm okay.
Everybody.
It's been like a million fucking minutes. I've been waiting.